Good afternoon and welcome to Recovering Perfectionist Mama, Grace in Progress. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Happy to have you. If you're a returning viewer, also welcome. Happy to have you as well. We know that there are many options out there and we appreciate your support. So to give you a little bit of information about me, for those of you that don't know me, I am actually a women's lifestyle creator on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, who is passionate about sharing information on women's lifestyle topics so that women can utilize that information to their advantage and live the life that they want to live, model that for their children, and that ultimately be part of their legacy. What could be better, right? So today we're going to talk about healing through creativity, using art to process emotions. And I'll be 100% honest. In sixth grade, I was told, I had an art teacher who said that there is no one who is not an artist. No one. So how can I grade your art is basically what she said. So that sounded all well and good. And I was excited about it because I was very self-conscious about my artistic abilities because I feel like I don't have any artistic abilities. So what ended up happening is when I got a C+, I was like, but I thought you said that you weren't supposed to grade creativity. Clearly she was being disingenuous. So there, just a funny ha-ha story here. So anyway, no one's going to be grading your art. No one is going to be questioning your choices because creativity is in the eye of the beholder, correct? Correct. Okay. So you don't have to have a paintbrush in your hand or a degree in art to be creative. You were born creative. Every doodle, every dance move, every journal entry, that's your soul trying to speak. And when words fail us, art becomes the language of healing. Today, we're exploring how creativity can help you process emotions, release tension, and reconnect to yourself in a world that rarely gives us space to feel. This is about healing through art, not perfection, not performance, but permission. Why creativity is medicine for the soul. Let's start here. Creativity isn't about being good at art. See, the art teacher failed to recognize that. It's about expressing what can't be spoken. When we're overwhelmed, anxious, or disconnected, our logical brain wants to fix it. But healing often happens in the body, in the senses, and through expression. Art therapy research shows that creative practices, painting, journaling, music, collage, movement, help lower cortisol, increase self-awareness, and activate the parasympathetic nervous system. It's not just emotional, it's physiological healing. Truth. Art doesn't have to make sense to anyone but you. And my little elephant that I made, my little clay elephant, he made sense to me. What happens when we create? When you create, you move emotions that were stuck. You give your feelings shape, color, and texture instead of suppressing them. That anger becomes a bold red streak across a canvas. That grief turns into poetry. That anxiety dances itself out through movement. Creativity lets the emotional body exhale. Actionable tip 1. Next time you feel heavy or overwhelmed, ask yourself, what color does this emotion feel like? Then grab the color, paint, pen, marker, anything, and let it move through you. No plan, no rules, just release. The science of creative healing. Here's the fascinating part. When you engage in creative activity, your brain lights up differently. Art making increases dopamine, the motivation and reward neurotransmitter. It helps regulate emotions, reduces rumination, and activates the same brain regions that are engaged in mindfulness meditation. In other words, creating something is a form of mindfulness. When you lose yourself in art, time softens. You're not worrying about the past or planning for the future. You're simply present. And that in itself is a gift. Actionable tip number 2. Create a 10-minute art pause. Set a timer for 10 minutes and express whatever you're feeling. Scribble in a notebook. Collage from old magazines. Write a stream of consciousness journal entry. Dance to one song with your eyes closed. 10 minutes of creative flow can shift your entire emotional state. Breaking the perfection loop. Perfectionism kills creativity. When you believe everything you make has to be good, you silence your inner artist. Creativity is messy. It's supposed to be imperfect because it's real. Art is not about the final product. It's about the process. Healing happens in the making, not the masterpiece. Actionable tip 3, use the ugly art rule. Once a week, make something intentionally bad. Finger paint, scribble nonsense, dance off beat, write the worst poem you can imagine. Why? Because it teaches your nervous system that expression doesn't need approval to be valuable. Creative outlets for emotional healing. Let's talk about how you can integrate creativity into your healing journey, even if you're busy or think you're not creative. Here are some simple ways to start. Journaling. Write letters to emotions like anger, sadness, or fear. Let them answer back. Painting or drawing. Focus on color, not form. Let your brush reflect how you feel. Music or sound. Create a playlist for different emotions and let yourself feel through sound. Movement, stretch, sway, dance, shake. Movement clears emotional tension. Photography. Capture moments that make you feel something. Light, texture, stillness. Collage or vision boards. Cut and paste what resonates with your heart's direction. Start where you are. Use what you have. Feel what you feel. The benefits of creative healing. So what happens when you commit to creativity as a healing practice? Emotional regulation. You learn to move through feelings instead of being consumed by them. Self-awareness. You uncover emotions you didn't have words for. Stress relief. Your nervous system relaxes. Increased resilience. You build emotional flexibility. Inner peace. You reconnect to yourself beyond roles and responsibilities. Creativity helps you feel seen by the most important person, you. Creating your creative ritual. Here's how to make it sustainable. Set a weekly creative date with yourself, 30 minutes uninterrupted. Create a healing playlist for inspiration. Keep a creative journal, not for words, but for color, sketches, and collage. End with reflection. After you create, ask, what did I feel before? What did I feel during? And what do I feel after? Your art becomes a mirror, one that helps you understand your inner world without judgment. So in closing, here's your permission to create. You don't need permission to heal. You don't need to be an artist to be expressive. You just need a willingness to show up and create through the chaos. Because creativity isn't just self-expression, it's self-restoration. So go grab those markers, that journal, that playlist, and let your heart speak in color. If this episode inspired you, tag me at recovering_perfectionist_mama with your creative healing moment. Share a snapshot of your art, your journal, or your process. Let's normalize healing through creativity, one messy masterpiece at a time. Thank you for tuning in. And once again, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and hope to see you again soon. Always welcome here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.